Right. So what we discussed in the last class, guys? What we discussed in the last class?
Windows installation, sir.
Right. Okay. So we just installed Oracle VirtualBox in the last class. In the previous classes, we just installed Oracle VirtualBox and we created one VM, right? And we have also discussed the process involving in the installation of the SQL Server, right? And then we have also created a VM using Oracle VirtualBox. And then we have also installed Windows Server 2019. And then we have also set up a remote connections. And then we have also discussed what is RDP. When you're doing work from office, how you are going to connect to the servers. When you're doing work from home, how you're going to connect to the servers. What is VPN, how it will help us to connect to the servers, everything we discussed. And we have enabled the RDP settings, and I just shown you how to connect to the servers using RDP, right? So all these things we discussed in the last class, in the previous classes, right? So guys, is my audio clear? Any disturbances are there from my side?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
clear.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the VM that we have created in the last week, guys. This is the VM batch 51 I created. And how many of you created VM, guys, using the same videos and all? And one more thing, I just want to update you. For the registered students, I have already shared you the softwares and notes for the registered students. What you can do, as I'm going to share to
Sir, I have not received it.
That's what. Let me complete. Okay, I'm going to like share you guys, or else I have already shared for the bulk of people, right? Multiple people at a time. So definitely it will go to spam. Just check in the spam. Okay, whatever I'm sharing, keep checking in the spam, and that too, don't keep the items in the spam. Okay, spam items will be automatically deleted after 30 days. Automatically it will be deleted. So keep checking the spam, and in case if you find any items in the spam, move to inbox or create a label. Okay, create a label, SqlDBA classes label, you just create it and move to the particular label. I hope you know how to create label in the Gmail. Okay, so again, guys, go and check your spam folders. I have already, for the registered students. For the registered students, I have already shared you two files. One is software links. Second one is notes. Okay, initially we are following one notes, right? 30 to 40% we are going to follow the same notes. And remaining classes, I'll share you the separate notes for each and every topic. Okay, so just go and check in your spam. Okay, you are able to see, and I just shared last week itself. So go and check the old items as well. Okay, fine. Yeah, that is one thing I just want to update you. Second thing, like whatever we are discussing, whatever we are recording, the sessions and all already uploaded in our YouTube channel, Source SOSC University under batch 51 playlist. Okay, so just go to SOSC University, and again, I'm requesting you all to subscribe to this channel. Not for the purpose of my subscribers. You will get the updates when I upload the new video and all. So just go to Source University, go to playlists, and you can see batch 51 playlist, see 5 videos. Till now, 5 classes are completed. All the 5 videos are uploaded in our batch 51 channel. Coming classes, okay, 5 to 10 classes will be uploaded here only. So if you subscribe to our channel, immediately you'll get the notification when I uploaded the class. Okay. So notes, softwares, and videos already shared with you guys. Nothing pending from my side as of now. Okay. Keep watching this YouTube channel playlist and keep checking your spam box so that you can see the material.
Sir, I have not received in my spam box.
Who is this?
Vibhuti here.
Vibhuti.
Yes, sir.
It was already shared. Okay, just check the items. But if not, somehow if you missed, nothing to worry. Just ping me in the WhatsApp. I'll again share you. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. Yeah, so let's discuss. In the last class, we have already completed the installation of operating system, and we have already set up the RDP connections and all. So let's start the VM. So I hope you know the shortcut. What is the shortcut to start the VM, guys? I want to start the VM. What is the shortcut?
Directly double click on that.
Correct. Okay, we can just simply double click on the VM so that it is automatically going to start. Okay, so I'm going to start the VM, guys. Right. You can also start right click start. You will get multiple options. So this is the shortcut. You can just double click on the VM so that you're able to start the VM. Okay. And your VM is started. And how many of you completed, guys, creating VM and all? Just raise your hands. How many of you completed creating VM, setting up the RDP? I hope one or two people, right? Vibhuti, Kiran. Okay, Praveen, yeah. Only 3 people completed, guys. Again, I'm saying if you are not practicing, no one can save you, guys. Okay, this is the last chance you people have. So try to practice all the classes as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Okay, if you are postponing the things for the next week and all, then you don't understand anything. Believe me, immediately try to practice, guys. You are having 5 days a week. Only 2 days a week I'm taking the classes. You're having 5 days a week. At least if you spend 1.5 hour per day, that is more than enough, guys. Try to practice, okay? Fine, let's this VM start, then we are going to, okay, connect to this server remotely, and then we'll start installing SQL Server today, okay? So we'll install SQL Server today, guys. From this point onwards, as a SqlDBA, our role will start. Till last class, creating VM.
Shanmugh,
Yes, tell me.
after completion of this course, is it possible for you to provide any live project for us to practice?
No, Praveen. This is only live project.
Okay.
This is only live project. Whatever I'm configuring, whatever I'm setting as per the live project only. And again, guys, for DBAs, there is no such kind of project related. Whatever project it is, our duties are same. Even though it is banking project, even though it is insurance project, even though it is oil and natural gas project, even though it is infrastructure project, even though it is healthcare project, whatever it is, backups are backups only, restores are restores only, permissions are same. For developers, they have to concentrate on the project. Why? Because it depends on the project, their logics will be changed. For DBAs, I'm going to set up from the day one onwards, I'm setting up the real-time environment. So again, there will be no demo project discussion, nothing. See, we don't work on project-centric, guys. The concepts are very clear. We will work on the concepts. Whatever project it is, same thing we are going to handle. Okay? Yeah. So now I want to connect to the server. So in the last class, we discussed about RDP settings, right? So how RDP will work, we have some challenges with RDP, that too when you are practicing in our laptop. Okay. So what are the challenges? You should use
Windows
Windows
10 Pro.
10 or 11 Pro or Pro only. So where I can check that one, go to your laptop. Okay, please be muted. I'm getting some echo sound. Go to your laptop, open run, type MS Info 32. Okay, in your laptop. Okay, in the system information, you can see Microsoft Windows 10 Pro. Some of you can see Microsoft Windows 11. So if you are able to see Pro or Enterprise, you can use RDP feature. If you see Windows 10 Home, Windows 11 Home, you cannot practice RDP. Okay. But again, Shanmukh, so I can't practice with servers. No, I am saying you cannot use RDP feature. You can connect to the server in 2 ways. One is direct connection. Just click on input, keyboard, control alt delete. You can use this option, or right control plus delete. Last time I told you, not control alt delete. It will show you control alt delete here, not control alt delete. Only a right side control button plus delete button. That's it. Okay. So you can log into this machine. If you are not able to use RDP, you can at least directly log into the machine and you can still practice, guys. So don't think if RDP is not working, so you cannot practice, nothing like that. In two ways we can connect to the server. One is direct connection that I did now. Okay. Second is RDP connection. You can use RDP tool to connect to the server remotely. Okay. Generally in the organization will connect to the servers through RDP only, right? Second challenge is you should have internet to practice RDP. Okay, so your server or your laptop both has to connect to the internet. If your laptop is connected to the internet, as you have already enabled the RDP settings, so your server also will be connected to the internet, guys. Okay, so just enable the RDP settings. You have to enable two settings that we have already discussed in the last class. So when you enable RDP settings, using internet only, both can communicate with each other. So if you don't have internet, then generally you cannot use RDP feature. Okay, you cannot use RDP feature if you don't have internet. This is second challenge. Why? Because you people will face these challenges while practicing again. Shanmukh, it is not working. RDP is not working for me, like that. You just keep these points in your mind. Okay. Third challenge is, for example, you are practicing with Wi-Fi. Okay, you are practicing with Wi-Fi. Suddenly the power gone. So Wi-Fi was down. And then you turned on the mobile hotspot. So the network is changed, right? So when the network is changed, the IP address also will be changed here. So immediately you lose the access for the RDP. Immediately, these are all only for your practice purpose. In the organization, you don't face these challenges, guys. In the organization, you don't face these challenges. Only in your practice, you will face these challenges. So when you change the network, or today you are practicing in your home, tomorrow you will go to your friend's room. So network will be changed, internet will be changed. So the IP will be changed. So whenever the network is changed, so the IP address will be changed every time. Okay. So what you can do, once you start the VM, immediately connect to the VM, log into the VM directly and keep checking the IP address. Okay. Today you might use one option. See, last time what IP I used? Maybe 192.168.0.1, I guess. Yeah, 0.10 I used last time. Okay. So now the same IP address will be there, or it might be a different IP address. So what you have to do, once while starting practice, immediately start the VM and then log into the VM directly. Check the current IP address. Okay, you can use CMD. What is the command to check the IP address, guys? What is the command to check the IP address?
IP config.
Yeah,
IP config.
very good. Okay. IP config. Don't give any spaces and all. See, it was changed again 192.168.137.39. Okay, so last time I used a different IP, now the IP is changed. So whenever you change the networks, whenever you change the internet, or if the power gone, if the existing network is down, sometimes RDP feature may not work. So what is the solution for that? You just simply restart the server, you will get new IP address. Okay, when you change the network, from Wi-Fi to hotspot or hotspot to Wi-Fi, from one network to another network, restart your Windows server. I'm saying, restart your Windows server so that you will get new IP address, then you are able to connect. Okay, these are the three main challenges. Okay, you are going to face while practicing with RDP, guys. Okay, chalo. So let's connect to the server remotely now. I just added this tool. You can add this tool on your taskbar. How to add it? So just type RDP in your Windows. Right click, pin to taskbar. You can use pin to taskbar. Okay. So where is that option? Remote. Remote. Yeah. So right click, it's already pinned. In my case, it's already pinned. You can, if you want, you can pin to start so that you can see under start menu, or you can just pin to taskbar. In my case, it's already pinned, so you can see unpin from taskbar. So you can see pin to taskbar here. You just select that option. It will be pinned to here. So no need to search every time. Okay. So simply you can just click on this from the taskbar and you can give the IP address. So what is the IP address? I guess same IP address, right? There is my server 137.39. Yeah. So just click connect, guys. In the organization, whatever server you want to connect, the server name will be provided in the ticket, either ServiceNow ticket or Jira ticket. So simply you'll open the ticket. There you can say either server name or IP address. Copy that IP address. Just type RDP in your local laptop and paste the IP address or server name. And then you can able to connect to the server remotely. Vibhuti, any questions? Vibhuti, Shrikant?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yes, tell me, Vibhuti.
Sir, you said that we need the internet connection to connect with RDP. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Previous class, you told that in the organization, in the production server, there is no internet connection.
I also told one more point, Vibhuti, you are not listening or what? So I told these are challenges only in your practice, not in your organization. All these challenges only while practicing in your laptop.
With the internet, I have understood. Internet connection is the problem in our practice.
While
Not in the
practicing, you
organization.
should have internet connection. In the organization, servers don't connect to the internet due to security.
Okay.
Okay, due to security concerns, your servers, whatever servers are there, all the servers will be connected to the intranet, which will communicate mutually. There is a difference between internet and intranet. Intranet means connecting servers mutually. They are going to connect with each other. They are not going to connect to the public network. So all these challenges that we have discussed only in your practice laptop, not in the organizational servers. In the organizational servers, servers doesn't have any internet. Servers will be connected to the intranet. And how they are going to connect through RDP, we will use separate tools and all. Using the tools, we are able to connect to RDP. And the two IP address won't change it at all. IP address are fixed in the organization. Only in the practice IP address will be changed, and we are going to use 192 series, right, to connect to the servers. In the organization, we'll use 10 series to connect to the servers. 10.10.10.1, 10.10.10.2, 10.10.0.135. Like that, we will have 10 series IP addresses in the organization. Okay, for that, if you want 10 series and all, again, we have to use extra tools like VPN kind of stuff we have to use. So it comes under infrastructure class, not a DBA class. Okay, so that's why I'm not going to concentrate all other things and also I'm just using the same free tools that we have. Okay, so nothing to worry, Vibhuti. In the organization, internet won't be there for the servers. Intranet will be there, so you can still use IP address won't be changed. And even though you change the network, no need to restart the servers and all, okay, to connect to the servers. Only the three challenges that we have discussed only for the practice purpose in your laptop, okay? Yeah.
Why we just use a Oracle virtual, like Oracle VM virtual box only?
Nothing,
Like,
very
is there any?
simple. Yes. We have different tools as discussed. I guess Digvesh, you last time also attended, right? So why we are using
I
Oracle?
attended,
Why
yeah.
not VMware? Why not GCP and all? Why, I mean, not GCP. What is that? Hyper-V. Why only Oracle VirtualBox, guys, we are using for practice? Can anyone tell me?
Because in other than
I think
It's
other
open source and freely available over the internet.
Very good, Shabir. One thing, another thing.
Sir,
challenges.
because Oracle
lightweight.
VirtualBox less resources.
Correct. That is very important point. As we are practicing with 8 GB RAMs, 12 GB RAMs, or hardly sometimes 4 GB RAMs also will be there. So we are using our local laptop is having 4 GB RAM. In that 4 GB also, again, you have to allocate 1 GB or 512 MB RAM to the machine. So do you think in the VMware we can manage the machines with 512 MB RAM or 1 GB RAM? VMware needs lot of resources. It will, even though if you give 512 MB RAM for VMware machine, it will run, but very slow. But Oracle VirtualBox, comparing to Oracle VirtualBox, VMware is very slow with less resources. In the organizations, people prefer to use VMware, but here we have limitations in terms of resources like RAM, storage and all. So that's why we are using Oracle VirtualBox. But at the end of the day, whether it is VMware or Oracle VirtualBox, there is no difference to us as a DBA. We are getting the server. We will connect to the server RDP through RDP. So that's why backend, whatever software they are going to use, we don't touch the backend software. We don't even have Visibility also for the backend software. We will use only servers. We'll connect to the servers, whether the server is coming from VMware or the server is coming from Oracle VirtualBox, okay, whatever, or it is coming from Hyper-V, whatever VM software it is, but still we will only connect to the servers through RDP. So that's why we are using Oracle VirtualBox, Vignesh, okay?
So this like virtual box should be like on our local desktop, right?
It will
Completely.
using
So-
that, yeah, it will be on our local desktop, yes.
So we can like have like handle like multiple VMs like IPs
We
from here.
can see these are the HADR machines. So I'm going to handle all 3 VMs at a time in the future
That is a
classes.
virtual server, right? Completely.
Correct.
That is
Virtual
everyone
servers.
able.
Correct.
Oh, okay, cloud virtual server, right?
Not cloud,
Otherwise
just
SDC.
on-premises virtual servers.
Okay, SDC, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions, challenges you have? No questions? Are we good? Right. Okay. So let me connect to the server remotely. I just opened this connection. Okay. So it is asking administrator, guys. Again, remember the username is administrator. If you don't see administrator, click on more choices. Click on use a different account. Then you type administrator. It should be administrator only. Why? Because we have enabled only administrator account. And the password while installing Windows Server operating system, after the installation of Windows Server operating system, it will prompt us to give one password. That password you have to give it here to connect to the server. Okay, click OK. Now it will ask you yes or no. So in this way, we'll connect to the servers in the organization, guys. Okay. So this is the way to connect to the servers in the organization generally. So here, just want to tell you, okay, 2-3 points. Otherwise, we'll do one thing. Right. So this is your server, guys. Generally, you can see the server like this only in the organization. Okay. So this is how you can see the server. Okay. So we'll start the SQL Server installation. In between, while installing the SQL Server, we'll have some time, right? So I'll tell you more about like how to disconnect from the server, how to log off from the servers. Okay. So there is a difference between disconnect and log off, guys. Both you should know, both are important. Okay. So let's start the SQL Server installation first. Okay. We'll get some time during the installation. Then we'll discuss about this disconnect and log off. Okay. Okay, fine. So now I told you right from this point onwards as a SqlDBA, our role will start. Okay. Our role will start. So generally, to install the
Hello.
yes, please.
So in the organization, sometimes the infrastructure team also install the SQL Server.
Okay.
Is the installation of SQL Server our task or their task?
See, it depends upon company to company. Okay, so 99% is okay. Windows team, they don't touch the other things. So if they are asking you, hey Vibhuti, can you please work on the Windows servers? Are you going to work, or it will be like this in startup companies? You might have visibility, okay, but in the larger organizations, okay, you don't have visibility. Each team will have its own roles and responsibilities. You don't even touch the VM environment also. Okay, you will have access to only to touch the servers, that too to connect to the RDP. Like you cannot directly touch the servers, you can connect to the servers through RDP. So each team will have its own roles and responsibilities generally, but that is very rare case. Infrastructure team will install, it depends upon the manpower and all. Okay, if they have manpower issues, they might ask infrastructure team also to install. And again, one more thing, FYI, for your information, we are also comes under infrastructure team only. Okay, Windows team, network team, storage team, DB team, everyone comes under the same umbrella.
Okay.
Okay, so there might be a challenges that sometimes, very rare case, that other teams will involve in the installation of SQL Server. 99% is dedicated team will be there. They will only take care of the responsibilities. You cannot take care of Windows responsibilities. Windows team cannot take care of SQL responsibilities. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So let's start the SQL Server installation. So now I want to install SQL Server, guys. So if I want to install SQL Server, I'll start with SQL Server 2019. So installations are same with every version, guys, plus or minus 1-2 screens. Okay, there is no big difference. So we'll discuss 2019 installation, 2022 installation also. Initially, I'll start with the 2019. Later, I have to show you how to upgrade from 2019 to 2022, right? So for that purpose, I'm going to install 2019. I'm going to start with the 2019 and all. And again, installations are almost same in every version. Okay, 2005, 8, 8R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22. Installations are same. There is no big difference between installing SQL Server 2005 and 2019. Of course, no one will ask you to install SqlServer 2005 now or 2008, which are already support is ended, guys. So there is no support for SqlServer 2005, 8, 8 or 2. Still, if it is product specific, still if they are asking you to install, but the process is same. There are some main components will be there during the installation. Okay, so these are the main things, main screens, guys. Remaining all the options are same. So there is no big difference between installing 2012 or 2016 or 2017 or 2019. Almost all the installations are same, plus or minus 1-2 extra screens or 1-2 extra options that you can see. But the concepts are same. Now, I want to install SQL Server 2019. So from where I can get the media, guys? Media means software. Media means software. So if I want to install SQL Server 2019, I should have SQL Server 2019, right? 2019 software, right? So from where I can get it? So I have my own software. Okay, I can attach it. But in the organization, how they are going to get the software? In the organization, generally, they don't copy the softwares and all directly, guys. They will use shared path option. Okay, shared path. So it will be like this. We will have a separate box or separate dedicated servers for the softwares or separate shared path for the softwares, service packs, cumulative updates, commonly used scripts. So all these things will keep it in one shared path, guys. That shared path will be like this: double backslash server name, okay, backslash softwares, okay, or SqlDBA, something like this, SqlDBA, okay, software scripts like this. The shared path will be like this, or server IP address. Either you can use name or IP address, something like this it will be. So this shared path, you have to check with your colleagues. If you are new to the organization, ask the colleagues that what shared path we will use to copy the softwares and all in the organization generally. So they are going to give you one shared path. So take that shared path, copy that shared path. Imagine in our case, imagine in our case, imagine it will be like 10.10.10.25. Imagine, okay. So what you have to do, just take the shared path, save it in your document. Okay, you have to maintain separate documents, guys, to save all these things. Okay, copy the shared path and then go to the server that you have already connected. Open run Windows plus R, Control V, and then just hit enter. If the path is existed, the folders will be opened. If the path is not existed or if the path is wrong path, you can see this kind of network error where Windows can't access. Okay, we don't have any shared path, but this is how we are going to copy the softwares in the organization. We don't simply right click copy, right click paste from your local laptop to the server, guys. We will use shared paths. We will use shared path. From that shared path itself, we are going to copy and we'll copy the files, softwares, okay, to the respective servers. Now I want to install SQL Server in this machine, right? 137.39, right? So what I'll do, I'll connect to this 137.39. I'll take the shared path from my colleague, okay, and then I'll copy paste the shared path. So once I copy pasted the shared path, okay, I'm able to see the folder, guys. I'm able to see the folder like this, and then you can directly use that folder to copy the software, guys. This is how generally the organization will copy the softwares. Here, what I am going to do, I am going to attach the software, SQL Server 2019 software. I am going to attach. How to attach? Last time we have attached Windows Server ISO image, right? In the same way, right click on this machine, go to settings, go to storage. I'll just replace. Okay, I'll just replace. Before replacing the SQL Server, let me do one thing. There is very important component to install SQL Server, guys. Can anyone tell me? What is the
.NET
what is the main prerequisite to install SQL Server?
.NET
.NET framework.
Very good. Okay, .NET framework is very important. Okay, software. That is an important prerequisite to install the SQL Server, guys. .NET framework. We have .NET framework 2.0, 3.0, 3.5, 4.5. So we have different versions of .NET framework. Generally, what happened is for 2019 and 2022 Windows Server, .NET framework is already inbuilt. It was installed. Who will install .NET framework, guys? Generally, Windows team will take care of it. These are the prerequisites, guys. Windows team will install the .NET framework. We don't have visibility to install .NET framework and all. So let's check whether .NET is installed or not. From where I can check, go to Server Manager, click on Add Roles and Features, go to Next, go to Next, go to Next, go to Next. So you can see here, okay? You can see 4.7 is installed already. So 3.5, okay, it was not installed. So if you want to install 3.5, what we can do, just choose .NET. In this 3.5, 2.0 also will be there, I guess. Yeah, 2.0, 3.0, 3.5. Choose this .NET framework, go to next. Go to here, what you have to do is specify an alternate source path. Here, you have to include this path. What is the path, guys? D:\sources. In this sources folder, you will have your .NET framework files. Copy this path and paste it here, Control V. Okay, D sources \s x s \, like this. See here, E:\sources s x s. In this case, it is just giving example of E drive, but in my case, in D drive, my Windows Server is there. From Windows Server software, it will install .NET framework, guys. In my case, the software is there in the D drive, okay, in the SXS folder, okay. From this, I have to install, right? So I have to give this path, D:\sources \s x yes. I have to give this path here. I can just click OK and I can just click install. And again, this will be taken care by the which team? Who will install .NET framework, guys, in the organization?
Windows team.
Windows team. So that
Windows
is
team.
their post installation step. So after creating the Windows, they'll definitely install the .NET framework. If not, just go and check it once. But mostly 4.5 is enough. No need to install again 2.0. But again, safe side, I'm just showing how to do that. In case if you got a chance to work on the old servers, you should know this, right? So that's why I'm just showing how to install .NET framework also.
So for the practice, because you need to install .NET framework
Correct.
3.5 or not?
Correct, yes.
So already there 4.5, no?
4. That's what some old versions equals at 2012 and all will run on 2.0, 3.0. So you should know, right?
2019.
2019 not required.
Okay.
Yeah, for that's what again if you want to install SQL at 2012. So in your practice itself, it needs mandatory .NET Framework 2.0, 3.0. Okay, so in that case, you should know, right, how to install .NET Framework, right? So that's why I'm showing how to install. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll give you a minute.
Oh.
Anup, which path you're asking, Anup? This .NET framework path you're asking?
Yeah.
This one, okay, D drive. Go to your Windows Server software, okay? Go to your Windows Server that you have already attached, right? So open D drive and then go to your sources folder and then go to SXS folder and then just you can copy paste this path there. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will take time, guys, to install .NET Framework. So once this is done, we can straight away copy the SQL Server software, or else we can attach the SQL Server software, and then we can start installing SQL Server software, guys. Okay. So just give me a minute. Yeah, yes,
So-
Pooja. I just want to tell you one more thing. So while downloading the softwares, generally Windows Server software, SQL Server softwares, and all, Windows Server softwares, especially, okay, they are big in size, 5 GB kind of things will be there. So 5 GB to download 5 GB file, you should need a continuous internet, okay, in case if any of the packets are dropped in between. So definitely you'll get the error. So in case if you are getting errors while downloading any files, keep downloading with a good network. Okay, so that is the only option. Why? Because there is no solution for that. Maybe why? Because now, even though we are paying a lot of money, any network is not good, guys. Lot of droppings will be there, packets will be dropped. So during the downloading of the file, the internet should be stable. So at least if it was dropped for one packet, so your download will be failed. So keep trying, Pooja, okay, with a good network. Okay. Yeah, someone is asking.
Yeah, sir, Digvish here.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
I'm asking like on our personal laptop, we never like to download the Windows servers kind of thing.
Mhm.
So for the virtual machine or virtual server, if we just want to install the SQL server, then it's a prerequisite that we just need to install the Windows server only.
If you want real-time practice, you have to do like this. If you don't want real-time practice, directly you can install SQL Server in your laptop. Two
So,
options
so
are
you are
there.
saying,
Either you can go with virtualization or Oracle VirtualBox to practice real time. Okay, like in the real time, the how the servers and all will be. So to get some hands-on experience. So why we are spending a lot of time on this? Generally in the organization, okay, you have to work like this only. You will connect to the servers like this, and you have to work like this only. So in that
Okay.
case, if you are like people, you are already an experienced person, but freshers or those who don't have exposure to the real-time environment, they don't dare to touch the servers. Their hands will shiver in touching the live environment or production servers and all. So that's why to avoid that shiver and all. So from the beginning of the classes itself, I'll make more comfortable to them to handle the servers. Okay, so
Right.
still, if you don't want to use this feature and all, you can still download SQL Server, just SQL Server. You can still install SQL Server in your local laptop, Windows 10 or Windows 11.
like even if we have any like virtual server requirement in our office, so if someone provided us like you have like 2 or 3 VMs, and
Mhm.
there will be like a Windows server already will be installed, right? Right?
That I'm not sure. That I'm not sure. See, no one will provide virtual servers in the. See, generally in the organization, you will just have visibility to the only Windows servers. That means you can take the IP address or server name, and you can just use this RDP feature to connect. You don't have visibility like this. Okay,
Yeah, right,
this will be
right.
controlled by your Windows team or Oracle Virtual Box. Sorry, VMT, Virtual Machine team.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so you don't see like this. Now you can see in my laptop, you can see like 10 VMs, but in the organization, it will be hundreds of VMs, thousands of VMs will be there. So Windows team only will have the control. They can start the VMs in case something goes wrong. It was struck, machine is struck. No one is able to connect to the server using RDP. So what VM team will do? They will start and stop from this console. Okay, so they have more rights when compared to us. So they can do anything on the VM level. They can allocate more resources, they can deallocate more resources and all. So based on their duties and responsibilities, they will only have the visibility. Okay, so
Basic,
generally SQL
basic.
DBS, we don't have visibility for this kind of console in the organization.
So basically, we can control all the like VM servers and all those things from here only.
In our practice,
Yeah.
not in the organization. In the organization, we cannot control VMs. We will just connect to the servers. We will install SQL servers. We can control SQL servers, not VMs.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. It is taking a lot of time to install .NET Framework. And one more thing, guys, when you connect to the server through RDP, okay, and your direct connection will be locked. If you connect to the server through directly, your RDP connection will be closed. Okay, and only two RDP connections are possible at a time. Two RDP connections are possible at a time. That means, imagine we have 36 participants or 35 participants in our team now in our class. So on top, I can see Anup Tiwari and Ranjana, I can see on top. Okay. So if Anup and Ranjana already connected to the 192.168. What is the server IP? 137.39. Okay. This you have to know, guys. 137.39. If Anup take a connection from this server and Ranjana is also connected to this server. Okay, two people already connected, right? So two slots are filled. Okay, two slots are filled, guys. So only two people can connect at a time through RDP. So now, if who is the third person in the meeting? Third person, Amarendra. Amarendra is trying to connect to the server again using RDP. Amarendra can't connect. Amarendra can't connect. Okay, why? Why? Because already, wherever those two people, it was gone. Anup and Ranjana. Yeah. So Anup and Ranjana already connected, right? So Amarendra will get a pop-up. Hey Amarendra, Anup and Ranjana connected to the server. So you have to wait until either of them is going to close the connection. For RDP, in the organization, definitely you can see these kind of messages. Definitely You can see these kind of messages in the organization, guys. It's taking a lot of time. Right. So Amarendra, what Amarendra can see, maximum RDP connections exceeded kind of message can see. Amarendra can see maximum RDP connections exceeded. Okay, for this machine, he can see this message. So until either Anup is going to close the connection or Ranjana is going to close the connection, Amarendra can't connect. If any one of them close the connection, then only Amarendra can connect. Amarendra will have one option. Amarendra can kill Anup or Ranjana. Amarendra can kill either Anup or Ranjana. Okay, so that means kill means what? Not directly go and kill. Okay, not like that. Amarendra can kill Anup session or Ranjana session, so that Ranjana will be disconnected and Amarendra can jump into the server. Guys, are you getting my point? Only two active connections can be made at a time to the servers through RDP. Okay?
Shanmugh?
Yes, please.
Actually, you said that only two connections we can go with
Correct.
RDP.
Correct. At a
But
time.
in the organizations, is it possible for only for two connections?
That's what I'm saying. Even 2000 people are there in your team. Only two connections are possible. You have to arrange. See, for example, Anup is from Windows admin team. Imagine Anup is from Windows admin team. There is an issue in this server. Anup is already connected and he is working on it. Ranjana is from SqlDBA team. Ranjana is also running some queries on this server. Now Amarendra is trying to check something. So definitely Amarendra will get a screen like this. Okay. Anup, Ranjana, he can see on the screen while connecting after giving the password and all. He can see either Anup, both. You can see Anup and Ranjana, both he can see. Okay. So he can either kill that, either Anup he can kill or he can kill Ranjana's session to jump into the server. But Amarendra cannot kill directly. Why? Because don't know Anup is doing some very important activity. Ranjana is also doing some important activity. How Amarendra can kill directly either Anup or Ranjana? Amarendra has to request Anup or Ranjana. Hey, Ranjana, I am having a critical task. Is that okay if I take your connection from this server? Like that, Amarendra has to ask. If Amarendra directly kill that connection, Ranjana can escalate or Anup can escalate. Why, Amarendra, you killed my session? I am doing an important activity. So they can escalate the issue. So before killing, before taking over their sessions, check with them whether it is good. You tell them, I have very important activity. So Ranjana will log off from the server. You will get one connection. Using that connection again, you can jump into the server.
Hi, Shanmugh.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I am facing this issue, but as a SQL, I am connecting that server from my local SSMS.
Yeah,
But my question is,
generally
uh,
what here is we can connect to the SQL server in two ways. One is through SQL Server authentication so that you can open SSMS in your local laptop and then you can connect to the server. You don't have, currently you're a developer, so you have that kind of visibility only. You don't have OS level visibility. DBAs will have OS level visibility, so they have to directly jump into the Windows machine and they have to start, okay, working on SQL servers and all.
right, but is it not at all possible, or this is just
Not at all possible.
default only to then paid version or something like that, three
No.
user, four user?
This is default in the organizations also. You can see the same kind of practice. Only 2 users still can use one more user, which is admin port. Okay. Still can use extra one more user called admin port. You can use while giving the RDP. Okay. Generally, what you can do is at the IP address, at the end of the IP address, you can just add /admin port. So one more extra connection, okay, you can use, but again, okay, it will not everyone, generally depends upon the organization to organization they are going to use, okay. It will not install, generally it will not take much time. Yes, the Digvesh might be, yeah, that's fine, not an issue. We'll check that one. Okay, so but by default in the organization also, this is the common security measure. Okay, same Kiran, even with jump servers also same kind of practice. This is the common practice in the organizations also. They will enable only 2 connections, even though that is enterprise edition also. Okay.
In some organizations, sir, RDP is also not enabled.
Correct. In some organizations,
It-
RDP won't enable. They will use some different tools to connect to the servers.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was stuck, I guess. No need to waste our time. Again, it's not mandatory for 2019. I'm going to close this. Okay, so let it be, not an issue. So let me check why it is taking this much time. Shouldn't be like that. D column sources x. Let's see, guys. Is going to help us or not. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? I'll try to check that RDP.
Sir, in same IP, how many people can connect at once, sir?
That's what 2 people. 2 people can connect at once. Not in the
Why
same
can't more
IPC.
than two, sir?
That was the limited. That was the limitation from the OS itself. Okay, that is the feature. Only 2 people can connect at a time. Why can't means just Google it. Even I don't know. Just for the security reason, generally people will connect to the server. Only 2 people will allow. Extra means only 1 extra admin port they are going to allow. Okay, so this is a very common practice in every organization. 99% is only 2 people, whether that is the limitation from the Microsoft or generally people will impose that kind of limitation in the organization, that I am not sure, but this is OS related, Windows related. Okay, this is not SqlDB related. Okay, so but 99.99% is I am sure only 2 people can connect to the servers through RDP at a time. If third person wants to connect, he has to request the other 2 people to drop from the server. Okay, maximum what is that? RDP remote connections exceeded. I'll try to show you that warning message, what you can see on the screen when you connect to the servers. Okay. On screen that is going to show you. It will pop up, guys. If 2 people are already connected, then it will pop up. Okay. It will pop up once you connected, once you enter the IP address and the username password. Immediately on the server screen itself, you can see Ranjana and Anup connected to the server. Okay, so only 2 people can connect to the server at a time, like that you can see. I don't see such kind of screens here. I'll check and show you that screen, guys, in the next class. Okay. Yeah, like this you can see the error message, login message. The terminal server has exceeded maximum number of allowed connections. Maximum number of allowed connections. Maximum number of allowed connections. Just want to show you so that you can choose either. There is a box near to Anup, okay, and near to Ranjana. You can choose either Anup or Ranjana so that their session will be closed automatically. But again, you cannot do that without having their permissions. You cannot directly kill, okay, or take their sessions, guys. So you have to check with Anup or Ranjana. Hey, Anup, are you doing any important task? If sometimes people will connect and they'll complete their task, but they'll forget to log off from the server. So you have to check with them. Okay. If Anup not doing any task, Anup will be back. Okay. He's going to log off from the server. Okay. So that's how it is going to work, guys. I don't see that error here. Okay. I'll check, guys. I'll check and update you. Okay. Right. Let me check the status here. No, it is not installing. Okay. Chalo, guys. Let it be. It's not mandatory for SQL Server 2019. So let's not to waste our time. So we can directly install SQL Server. So for that, what we are going to do, guys, I am going to attach the SQL Server software. Go to Oracle VirtualBox Manager. Go to the settings. In our case, generally we'll attach like this. But in the organization, so you have to choose this, okay, disk, okay, and just click here. And what you can do, you can just click on the choose virtual optical disk file. And you have already downloaded the software, right? Go to the download path, downloads folder and all. And I'm going to choose 2019, right? Just double click on 2019 and click OK. So in our practice, we'll attach like this. in the organization, again, as we discussed, we have to use a shared path. Using shared path, we are going to access or we are going to copy the softwares, guys, okay, in the organization. Fine. Any questions, please?
Sir, can you show the demo of shared path?
Which one? Shared
Demo
path.
of shared path.
Shared path. See, local I can show you. In this server I can show you. Okay, let me show you this. Okay. In the meantime, this PC. I'll create a shared folder, guys. I'm just creating one shared folder. Control-Shift-N. SQL softwares. Okay, Control-Shift-N. SQL 2019. Okay, so I'm going to share this, right click, properties, and sharing, share, and here I'm going to attach everyone, add, I'm going to allow read write access and share. Okay, right, I just created a shared path like this. It will be, see here, done. So now let me go and access the shared path. Okay, and okay, server name / SQL softwares. Okay, so now imagine this is the path. Okay, this is the path. What you have to do, you have to just open run. Don't create like this any folders, don't share it like what I did, just to show you the demo. That's why I didn't explain what I did and all. Okay, just to show you the demo of how to access shared path. So if the shared path is existed, you will get this shared path from your colleagues. If you are new to organization, if you are already working on all, no issues. You will document each and everything, right? So just get this shared path from the colleagues, copy paste that shared path in the server and just click OK. Run it in the, yeah, you can see like this. Okay, so if you open SQL 2019, you have to copy the softwares here. Generally in the organization, someone will copy softwares to this folder manually. So once you open shared path, you can see SQL 2019 folder. If you open SQL 2019 folder, you are able to see SQL softwares. Okay. Fine,
So
clear.
this shared path you have created in your machine or VM?
Not, I created in the VM. Here only I created, right? Here. This is
in,
VM.
In
This
your
is
machine,
VM. This is
in
VM.
your machine you can create.
In your machine means laptop you are saying.
Yeah.
You can
From
try that
VM
one.
to
You can try that
from
one.
VM to, okay, I have wondered.
Yeah.
So from VM to in our laptop we can connect by shared path.
You can connect. Again, you have to enable extra connections and all. See, it's not like we are not going to concentrate more on the Windows side. It's not, it's going to confuse you. Our main goal is SQL servers. Okay. You can still do that R&D. Okay. Yeah. Chalo. So now
Shamukh,
what?
can you please,
Yes, please.
sorry to interrupt. Can you please show us, I mean, the sources again that, I mean, I'm really confused about that.
Which
The
one? Which
sources
one?
for sources.
Why you're confusing?
No,
This
actually,
is
I just missed it.
the
Yeah.
drive. Which one? Yeah, it was changed actually. Software is changed. Okay. So
Okay.
it was changed to SQL Server actually. Earlier it was Windows Server, right? Now I don't see sources folder now. Okay. So very simple. I'll give you the path also. Okay. D:\\sources sources /yes. Okay, let me paste this path in the chart. Okay, you can use this path.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just posted in the chart. Okay, you can use that one.
Yeah, thanks.
Fine. Yeah. So go to this PC, guys. Open. This is my SQL Server setup. Don't double click on it. Okay, just right click, open it. Okay. So now you can see SQL Server setup file. So you can see lot of files, Shamukh, which file I have to open. Setup file with the application you can see. Okay. Application, the type of file it will show you as application. Setup file with application. So right click, run as administrator. Okay. Again, all the application related files you have to open with run as administrator only. Again, I'm saying all the application files you have to open with run as administrator only. So just quick question to all of you. It will take 1 hour, 1.5 hours to complete this. So can we take the break now, or in between? If you take the break, means it will break this one topic, right? So that's why. So will we take the break now? 10 minutes break and then come back. We'll start the installation of SQL Server. Is that okay for all of you? It will take 1 hour time easily.
Yes.
Okay, done. Okay, just take a 10 minutes break, guys. Now, what is the time now? 8:10, right? So come back at 8:20 exactly. Okay. So we'll continue the discussion of SQL Server. Okay. Recording. I'm going to pause the record. So just remind me in case if I forgot to resume the recording. Right. Okay. So let me go to this server. Right. So I just opened this setup file, right? So how I opened this setup file, again, I'll tell you guys. So when you attach the SQL Server software, ISO image, it will be attached as a D drive in your machine. Go to D drive, right click on open. Okay. So then you can see the SQL Server 2019 setup file. Right click again. Always you have to use run as administrator. Don't double click on the setup file directly. Okay. Always you have to choose run as administrator only. Okay. Application files, right? So now 2019 installation center will open. This is called installation center. Okay, SQL Server installation center. So in the installation center, you can see hardware and software requirements. You can see some online documents. You can use this installation center is a tool. This installation center is a tool which will help us for documentation and to download some extra tools and all. Okay. So slowly you'll get to know all the options, guys. For installations, I'll use some options. For upgradations, I'll use some options. So you can see all the options slowly throughout the course. Okay. So planning and all, this is called page. Okay. This is one page, PAGE page. Planning page, installation page, maintenance page, tools, resources, advanced options. Okay. So like this, you can see different pages and all. Okay. You can see, so you slowly will get to know all these options throughout our course, guys. Chalo. Now I want to install SQL Server, right? So go to SQL Server installation page. So you can see a lot of options here. You can see standalone installation. You can see if you want to install reporting services. I told you during the initial discussion in the introduction sessions, we discussed, okay, tools, right? BIDS, Business Intelligence Development Studio, BIDS components like SSIS, SSRS, SSAS, integration services, reporting services, analysis services. If you want to install reporting services, you can click on this option. So if you want to install a tool, which is management tools, okay, will be there, SQL CMD, BCP command, we'll use. These are the management tools. We don't use these now, SSMS and all. So install SQL Server data tools, and we can see new SQL Server payload cluster installation, add node. These comes under SQL cluster installation. These two options will be enabled.
Sharma?
Yes, yes.
As you said, SSMS is SQL Server Management Studio. What is meant by SSMEA?
Migration assistant.
Migration assistant. Okay.
Okay. So
that will also comes under our topic, right?
Yeah, migration will be there. Migration is a separate topic.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So these two options will be enabled on the cluster environment. Currently, there are two types of environments, guys. Okay, two types of environments. One is standalone environment. Okay, standalone. Another one is cluster environment. Okay, so you can install SQL Server either on standalone or you can install SQL Server on cluster environment. What is the difference between these two? Okay, so standalone means a single virtual machine. Okay, so you can install multiple instances. Instance means, I'll tell you. Instance means one SQL Server software copy. One SQL Server software copy is called one instance. Technically, we'll call SQL Server as a SQL instance. Okay, technically, we'll call SQL Server as a SQL instance. So standalone means only one virtual machine will be there. On that virtual machine, we are going to install multiple SQL servers, multiple SQL instances. Okay, we are going to install. I'll tell you how many during the installation. So this is called just a standalone. Then what is cluster? Group of servers. Okay, cluster means group of servers doing a common task. Group of servers doing a common task is called clusters. Cluster, you know, right? Clusters. means group of objects. Cluster means group of objects generally. So cluster means group of servers in our case. Multiple servers will be there. There is a separate discussion on this cluster servers. So we have Windows cluster, SQL cluster. So we are going to spend around 5 hours on this, guys. Okay, so nothing to worry about this. So we'll discuss. There is a clustering concept. We'll discuss. So if you are going to install the differences between standalone and cluster, mainly standalone is a kind of a single SIM. You people are using mobile phones, smartphones, right? Most of you are using dual SIMs. So what is the challenge? What is the challenge with single SIM? In case if you are busy or if there is no signal to that particular single SIM, or if there is no balance in that SIM, you cannot make the calls. Right? If you have dual SIM, if you are busy, you'll get called to another number. If one number is not reachable, you'll get called to another number. If you do a call forwarding, if there is no balance in one SIM, you can use another SIM to make the calls. So that's the difference. Typing it in standalone. Okay, no problem. In case if you have, I'm sorry, yeah. So standalone. Thank you. So standalone, guys. Okay, so standalone is nothing but it's a kind of a single SIM. Okay, there is no high availability and all. But in the cluster, multiple servers will be there, right? If one server is down, generally another server will be there to take care. Like if one SIM is not reachable, another SIM will be there, right? So in the same way, standalone means it's a single server, single machine. If something goes wrong with this, network is down, storage is down, or OS is not working as expected, or there is an issue in the machine, that's it. Your server will be down. All the services that are running in this machine also will be down. That is the challenge with the standalone. Cluster, multiple servers will be there. If one server is down, another server will take the load. Okay, so that is called a cluster. As of now, just a very few basic things about these two. In future, we have separate sessions on the cluster environment, so nothing to worry. So initially, I'm going to install SQL Server on a standalone machine. Okay, that means only one VM. So that VM is already created. So I'm going to choose this option, new SQL Server standalone instance, or add features to the existing installation.
So in the cluster machine, the cluster part will be enabled.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can see here when you just click here. Yes, please. Any questions? Right. Fine. Okay. So if you see here, guys, new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. I can do a new installation, or if you want to add features to an existing installation also, I have to choose this option only. You can see here, launch a wizard to install SQL Server 2019 in a non-clustered environment, or to add features to an existing SQL Server 2019 instance. Okay. So now, can I install multiple instances at a time in the same virtual machine? Just a quick question. Multiple instances, can I install multiple instances at a time in the same virtual machine? Parallelly.
Yes.
Are you sure?
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes, we can.
Now I just started one installation, right? Can I start one more installation now itself parallelly?
No,
No. That's not possible.
That's what I'm asking. Parallel installations. I'm not saying I can install multiple instances, but not parallelly. See here, this option is disabled. If I want to install again, I have to click this option only, right? So this option is disabled, so I cannot do parallel installations. If I close this window, again this option will be enabled. Okay, so like this it will be. So parallel installations are not possible. Okay, so what we can do is, once the installation is completed, and again you can do second installation, right? Now coming to this, the first screen you can see all these screens, guys. We are going to complete all these screens in this class itself. Okay, so that SQL Server installation will be completed. Right. So now you can see the first screen, which is product key. As discussed, we have some free editions like Express, Evaluation, Developer. These three are free editions. So if you choose these free editions, I don't choose Express and Evaluation. Why? Because a lot of advanced features and all won't work in the Express and Evaluation editions. So Developer edition is an excellent edition where all the features will work. Okay. Right. If you have enterprise key, for standard enterprise editions and all, You will get the key in your key vault. The organizations will maintain a key vault. There is a separate application to maintain software licenses and all. So you can get the key from your key vault and you can enter here for the licensed versions, guys. As it is a free version, free edition, I have to choose, specify a free edition. I am going to choose developer edition here. So this comes under free edition. Go to
So for standard edition, what I have to do?
you will get the key, add the key in the second option, second box.
And the key will given by the client.
Not yeah, client only, but again, if you work in the service-based kind of thing, you will have a separate Excel sheet and inventory will be maintained. Okay. So keys and all will be there in that inventory. You have to check that inventory with your colleagues or team lead or manager will help you on that. Right. So every software I have to choose, I accept the license terms, right? Choose, I accept the license terms, go to next. So now it is going to check whether this machine is suitable to install SQL Server or not. These are called global checks. Okay. These are called global checks. Again, before the SQL Server installation, you have to restart the server once. Which server? Windows Server for the safe side. Why? Why? Because Windows team is going to install lot of softwares. Sometimes they might forgot to restart the server. If they forgot to restart the server, generally this check will be failed. Restart computer check will be failed. Guys, these are the checks that will perform before the installation. If it met all the checks, then only it will allow us to go to next. If any of the check is failed, even one check is also failed. You can see 8 checks, right? If any of the check is failed, even one check also failed, then you cannot go to next. This next button will be grayed out. You cannot click on next button. As every check is successful now, you can see next button. Either one check is failed. Failed means you can see here failed. Okay, and here also you'll get a red mark, a red circle, red cross you will get here. So if any of the check is failed out of 8, you don't get a next button, guys. Warnings also fine. If warning is there, still it will, if 8 warnings are there, still it will allow us to install. But if one check is failed, why? Because these are the prerequisites. Everything should be there. And you have to restart the server before the installation of SQL Server. You have to restart the whole Windows machine, not your laptop. You have to restart this Windows machine before installing the SQL Server. So make sure all these checks are succeeded, or warning, or skipped. Fine, guys. But if any of the, imagine restart computer check is failed, what is your troubleshooting step, guys? Here, restart computer check is failed. What you will do to fix this?
We have to restart
the server only.
That's it. That's it. You have to restart the Windows Server, and then again you'll open setup file. Okay, and then you can proceed to install, guys. So these are called global rules or global checks, guys. Okay. So now go to next. All are succeeded in our case. Right. So this is your Microsoft update. So it is asking, do you want me to install with the latest updates on 2019? So tell me, guys, latest updates, if I choose, means it will use internet to download the latest updates. So what you want me to do now? Do you want me to choose this option?
No.
I think we can update later as well.
Later as well, but the thing is, in the organization, servers don't have internet. So if you choose this option also, there is no use. Okay, Microsoft Update, MU, we'll call it as MU, Microsoft Updates. Okay, so if you use this option also, still it will be failed. Generally, it will be failed in the organizations. Why? Why? Because it has to use internet connection to download the latest updates. But servers don't have internet connections, right, to download. So this check will be failed generally in the organizations. So there is no use if you choose. In my case, internet is there, I can choose, but it's not good. Okay, skip this. You can skip it. Go to next. Like this, see, product updates, it was failed. Okay, so why? Because as I told you, so it is not going to take the product updates. So go to next. So now to install SQL Server, it is going to install some setup files, guys. Okay, so basic setup files and all, whatever setup files are there, initially it will install, it will copy some DLL files, dynamic link library files, resource RLL files, MSI files, kind of thing. Okay, so it is going to install some set of files automatically. So we don't need to do anything here. Just wait until it is going to be installed. Then we'll go for the next section. Right, okay. Check this, yeah. So if you see here, guys, right, if you see here, warning is there, Windows firewall warning is there, but in the organization they are going to enable some ports, and also generally you don't get warnings also. Okay, in the organization sometimes Windows firewall warnings and all there, means if you open the ports and all, generally you don't get this warning, but still you can skip this warning. See, even if warning is there, it is showing a next button, but if this check is, if any of the checks are failed, okay, then it is not going to show you next button, guys. It will simply, I mean, like the next button will be grayed out like this. See, back button is grayed out, right? Like this, it will be disabled. Okay, so now we are good to proceed, guys. Go to next. These are some checks. So like this, during the installation, it will go for some checks, guys. During the installation, before the installation, after the installation, it will go for some checks, right? So now this is the important screen where we have to choose the components. Okay, so now if you want, I told you, right, the important components in the SQL Server, which is database engine. We have also discussed about the other components like full text and reporting service. If customer is looking for SSIS, SSRS, SSAS and all, then you can choose, okay, either of the IS components, integration services, reporting services. I told you, generally in the previous versions, what happened is, okay, you have to choose SSIS, SSRS, SSAS in this section itself in the previous version. But later what happened is, from SQL Server 2017, 2019 onwards, Microsoft separated SSIS, SSRS, SSAS and all. Sometimes, okay. So if you want to install, forget about this SSIS, RSAS, but still if they are asking us, if you want to install SSIS, you can go and check in the shared features, you can see integration services. And in the specific features, you can see analysis services, okay. If you need reporting services separately, you have to download it. See, looking for reporting services, you have to download it. Forget about these three components as of now, okay. So let's discuss the main components of SQL Server. If you want to install SQL Server, what are the main components? Let's discuss. So database engine is the head of the SQL Server, or brain of the SQL Server. The main component is database engine, guys. Without database engine, there is no SQL Server. That is the main component. And if you see here, concentrate, guys, listen carefully. There are two sections here. One is this. Second one is this section, okay? One is this section, second one is this section, okay? So one is this section, second one is this section. So this is called specific features. The section that you can see here, this box, this is called your specific feature section. And this box is your shared feature section. Listen carefully. What is this difference between? What is the difference between specific features and shared features? I'll tell you. Okay. So generally, you are staying in a PZ. You are staying in a PZ. When you are staying in a PZ, you will use some specific components. I mean, like specific things. Specific things means your own things. And you will use some shared things also, right? What comes under specific things if you are staying in PZ? What and all your own components, guys, even though you're staying in PZ, what components are belongs to you, especially belongs to you?
Bed, locker.
Locker, okay, very good. Next. Your phone, your laptop, your clothes, dresses, whatever you're using, those are all belongs to your specific things, guys. Means you only can use those specific things, right? Right? This is called specific to you. Shared things, tell me shared things that you are staying in a PZ, what and all shared things that you can use?
Room.
Kitchen, TV,
Very good. TV, refrigerator,
refrigerator, yeah.
washing machine, Wi-Fi. These are all shared features. Now tell me, if any new guy comes to the PZ, is the hostel people going to install, or the PZ people going to install separate washing machine, separate Wi-Fi, guys? Are they going to install? Again, separately, if any new guy comes to the PZ? No, those are the shared things. Everyone has to share it. So these shared features will be installed only once. Agree or not? Agreed, guys? These
Yes.
shared features will be installed only once, but specific features, if one person joined in the PZ, he will have his own mobile phone, he will have his own, what I can say, laptop and all. Those are specific to him. So in the same way, why we are discussing this means, I can install multiple SQL instances in this machine. As I discussed earlier, I can install multiple SQL instances. Okay, in this machine, in one machine, we can install multiple SQL instances. How many? Up to 50 instances per machine we can install. Up to 50 instances means treat this machine as a PZ. Up to 50 people can stay in this PZ. Is it clear, guys? Treat this machine as a PZ. Up to 50 people can stay in this PZ. So each person, now I'm installing one instance, only one SQL server. Now imagine this is my mobile phone, this is my laptop, this is my clothes, these are all my required things, my basic things. Okay. So these are the main specific things that I'm going to install. If I am installing one more instance, again, you have to choose your mobile phone, you have to choose your laptop, you have to choose your clothes. Guys, I'm just giving an example. Okay. Yeah, this is database engine, this is replication, this is full text search. Okay. So I'll tell you what and all. Database engine will act as a brain of the SQL server. It is the main component of the SQL server. Without database engine, there is no SQL server. That is one component. Second component is replication. Replication is one special feature that will help us to synchronize the data. That is called second feature, replication. We'll discuss, there is a separate class on replication. Full text will help us to search the data quickly. Full text service. Okay, so it will help us to search the data quickly. So any instance will choose these main components, which is specific components. If I want to install second instance, again, I'll choose these three components. That's why I just compared these three components with mobile phone, laptop, and clothes. If you install one more copy, means if second guy comes to the PZ, again, he will have his own mobile phone, he will have his own laptop, he'll have his own clothes, right? Third guy comes, fourth guy comes, 50 guys comes, they will have their own components. But come to shared features. These are like refrigerator, washing machine, TV, Wi-Fi kind of thing. Okay, only will be installed for the first time when you set up the PZ. Okay, what and all shared features will commonly select? We have to choose client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. where you can see client tools. Okay, you can choose all the components, guys. Client tools connectivity. These are the main shared features that we will choose, guys. Client tools connectivity. Imagine this is a Wi-Fi. This is washing machine. This is refrigerator. This is TV. Only once we are going to set up these components only for the first time. Next time we are installing one more instance. Do we need to choose all these components, guys, again? Do we
No.
need to choose?
No.
Not required. Only for the first time we'll choose these shared components. Later, automatically it will be installed. How many instances are there? All those instances, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 instances, or all the instances are going to use the same existing shared features. You don't need to install the shared features again and again. Only once we will install. But specific features will install per instance. Okay, so next time when I'm installing second instance, I'll choose only these three. I don't even touch shared features also. And SQL Server can be used for multiple other features are supported in the SQL Server, R, Python, different tools are there. If you need extra components, extra services and all, you can choose it. Don't choose select all while installing. You are doing a mistake. Don't choose select all. If you choose select all, you have to pay a lot of license amount to the Microsoft. Every feature is paid. It's not free. Okay, so make sure that you are choosing proper components. Shanmukh, how do I know what and all things customer is looking for? Right? That is your question, right? You will have one document called build sheet. We'll have one document called build sheet. So in the build sheet, customer will fill this sheet. Customer means the application owner who is looking for the SQL Server. This SQL Server is not installed for you or for me. We are installing this for one application. Those who are managing that application, he is going to request, hey, DBA team, I need one SQL Server 2019 instance. If they mention the version, that's good. If they don't mention the version, which version you need, they will tell you I need 29. Why? Because application compatibilities will be there, right? So based on the application compatibility only, we have to choose the instance. Do you need any specific instance or specific version to install? If they said, okay, yeah, install 2016, 2017, then you can. If they are saying, no, I don't have any specific version, then always you have to install the latest version in the organization. You might have asked this question, guys. Shanmukh, I have a lot of versions. Customer is asking me to install SQL Server. Which version I have to choose to install? Right? So you have to ask this question to customer. Hey, do you need any specific version to your application? Some application, they don't support latest versions of SQL Server. Old applications will support some old SQL Server versions only. You have to ask them. Ask them, you have to ask them. So if they are saying, yeah, please install 2012, my application will support up to 2012 only. Then you have to install 2012, 2014 and all. No problem, you can choose the latest version. Then you can choose 2019 or 2022 in the organization, guys. In the build sheet, they are going to provide you all the details. What is the instance name? Okay, these are the details, you'll get it from the build sheet. Instance port number that you have to use, that I'll tell you guys, port number at all. Okay, and what and all other components you want to install, what features you need. Some people will need only database engine replication full text. Some people might need R, some people might need SSIS, some people might need SSIS, RSES, some people might need SSAS, some people might need only SSRS. So they are going to specify the components that they need to install in the Windows machine. Okay, so you have to check this build sheet. Mandatory. This is mandatory. When they raise a request, they will attach the build sheet in the ticket itself. If you don't find any build sheet, if you don't find such kind of protocol, all these details you have to get it from the customer, guys. So we cannot keep on disturbing him. Hey, what components you want? Hey, what should be the instance name? Hey, what is this value? What is that value? Some inputs we need. Okay, DBA side, where to install, how to install, that we have to take care. But what should be the instance name, what components he need, that we have to ask customer only. 70 to 80% before installation itself, they will follow build sheet. In the build sheet itself, they will fill all the details. If you feel that anything missing from the build sheet, you can ask the customer. If you feel that build sheet is full or clear, then you can start installing based on the build sheet. Okay, so what and all components you have to choose, customer will tell you, guys. So general components are like this. If they are looking for only SQL Server, These are the general components. These three are specific features that we'll choose, and they are shared features that we'll choose for the first time. Okay, these are the general components for SQL Server. Still, if they need extra services and all, they have to update in the build sheet. Based on the build sheet, we'll proceed to install, guys. Where you are going to install these components, you can specify the path. In the organization, I told you, right, in the build sheet, generally default build sheet will be there. Okay, instance root directory, where it has to be stored, they will have the path. Some people will go for D drive, some people will go for C drive, the same drive. So it will be like that. Some shared features are different in SQL Server.
Sir,
Yes.
how to choose the drive?
You can just, you can edit this. You can make this D to E.
No. How can we check in D drive you have to set, or C drive or E drive?
That's what you will, your organization will follow some standards that you have to check with your colleagues. Okay, we are going to install this in D drive. So we'll make it as a D. Okay, we'll choose, we can click on browse button and we can choose D drive. In our organization, that is standards. In your organization or in some other organization, they'll install these things in the C drive only. Okay. Like this. Initial, these are the initial folders, shared root directory, shared feature directory, 32-bit. So only these folders, but later data files, log files, I'll show you the path and all. Okay. So these are the paths. Again, these paths will be added in the build sheet. Based on the build sheet, you can change these paths or you can keep these paths as it is. In my case, I have only C drive. So I'll go with C drive only. Okay. Go to next. And if you are installing SQL Server on an existing machine, make sure you have enough free space in the drives, guys. Okay. Make sure you have, if you are already installing SQL Server on the new machine, not an issue. They will give you a lot of free space and all. But if you are installing, and you can check this in this back, okay, if you go back, you can check that option here. What is the free space available? What is the required space to install? Okay, that you can check in the back screen, last screen. So make sure you have enough in case if you are installing SQL Server on an existing VM which is already running. So make sure you have enough free space in the drives. Okay. So let me go back here. I'm going to show you. See here, drive. I need 1736 MB required. I have 15,000 MB. Okay. So I'm good in this case, right? I need only 1700. I have 15,000. If I need, okay, 1700, and if I can see only 1100 available free space, can I proceed?
No.
No, it will be failed. Definitely it will be failed for sure. Okay, so make sure you just check this, whether you have enough free space or not. This is one important thing that you have to check. Okay.
The upper pre-checks will be?
That is also, yeah, it will be like installed by default. By default, the servers.
Only for shared features, right? Client tools.
Not everything.
No.
Shared features.
Yeah, shared features, client tool connectivity, and yeah,
These four. Okay. And guys,
yeah.
again, one more request from my side. Don't concentrate on practice parallelly. You don't get anything. Everything will be recorded. Notes will be provided. So nothing to worry. I know some of you guys are going to practice parallelly. You are going to miss very important screens and all. Believe me, after this class, practice with the recordings. Okay. So if you are simply going with the like parallelly with me, then definitely you will face the challenges. You will miss the important screens and all. Okay. Right. Now let's consider another screen called instance configuration. So what is this instance configuration and all? Let's discuss. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, one question.
Yes, please.
If we didn't choose any features and later we need it, then we can.
Yes, very good question. Very good question. That's why when you see this option, install a standalone feature or add features to the existing instance. See? Very good question. I just have to cover. I forgot to add that point. Now, after 1 year, customer comes to us. Hey, Shanmukh or hey, DBA team, can you please install only SSIS on this? Already SQL Server is running. They are looking for only SSIS. Or they are looking for only specific features. Can we add that later also after installation? Yes, we can add that. Again, the process is same. Copy the version, copy the software, choose which feature they are looking for, and go next, and give the inputs, configure it, and then you can just hit the install button. Yes, You can choose the components also. Later also, after installation also, you can choose the components. Okay. Yeah. So now instance configuration. So you can see there are two types of instances. Default instance. Okay. Default, named instance. What is default? What is named? What is the difference between these two? Can anyone tell me? Quickly. We have only 30 minutes time.
In default, it becomes MSS.
The default instance is the system name. Name
Okay.
instance we have to provide the name.
Right. Very good.
Default
Okay.
default will be automatically taken by the system.
Yeah. So let's discuss, guys. So there are two types of instances you can install. One is default instance, second one is named instance. So is it mandatory for the first time I have to choose either default or named, guys, or first time I can choose any of the instance?
We can choose any of
Any of them.
Very good. Very good. We can choose any of the instance. There is no mandatory like we have to, first time you have to install only default, nothing like that. One question, big question for all of you. Try to respond in the chat. Yes or no. Okay. If I install default instance for the first time, don't tell your answers, type your answers in the chat. If I install default instance, later can I change the same instance to named instance? Type your answers in the chat. Answer is yes or no. If I install default instance for the first time, the same instance after installation, can I change it to named instance or name it to default? Can I change it? Answer would be yes or no. You can just guess it. If you can't guess, you can use Inky Pinky Ponky, Aak Paak, Karve Paak, anything, whatever you are comfortable. Guess it, guys. Just guess it. Only 16 guys should be interactive. Only 16 people respond out of 33. Please respond. Otherwise, I'll ask you. I'll just see. I'm asking you to guess. It's not mandatory that you should know the answer. It's okay. Just guess it. Only 20 people responded till now. 21. Guys, if you are sleeping, just respond and you can sleep again, guys. You can go back to sleep. No issues for me. 23 people, 24 people. Okay, 25 people. 8 more people has to respond. Quickly, guys. I'm going to close it. 26. Okay, chalo. Okay, let's close it. Okay, we don't have time, right? So let me check. I got mixed answers, guys. Very good, guys. People responded. I'm happy for that. Okay. Praveen Kumar says yes. Sanita, no. Sarvaswa, no. Kiran, no. Shiva, no. Muhammad, no. Amarendra, no. Vibhuti, no. Shabir, no. Geeta, no. Digvesh, no. Anup, no. Shanwar, no. Niharika, no. Veerabrahmaya, yes. Ranjana, yes. Shrikant, no. Tariq, no. Sagar, yes. Pradeep, no. Dhananjay, yes. Venkat Sri Gopi Krishna, no. Geeta, no. Venkat, yes. Ojuloge, yes, and Shivaling, no. So those who said no, like, is it, do you know the answer, guys, or is it Inky Pinky Ponky result?
The guess from it.
Okay, fine, very good. So the answer is no. Okay, the answer is no. Once you install the default instance, you cannot change that default instance to named instance. Or if you install named instance, you cannot change it to default instance. If you install default, that is default only. If you install named, that is named only. So how many, I told you, like, we can install 50 instances. How many of them are default? How many of them are named instances? Okay. So we can install 50 instances, which is 49 plus 1. Okay, or 1 plus 49. What is this one default instance? One default instance we can install per machine. 49 named instances we can install per machine. Okay, 49 named instances we can install per machine. One default instance per machine.
Sharma, one small doubt.
Yes, please.
Actually, we have installed one instance, and as you said, it is we can be either named instance or default instance.
Yes.
When we are installing second instance,
Okay.
Which one we have to choose it as a default instance?
I'll tell you.
Then
I'll tell you.
that could be we can change as name to default and default to name. So
I am asking the already existing instance, can we change it to another instance? I'm not asking whether we can change during the installation. I'm not asking that one. You install the default. Question is very clear. You install the default instance. Can you change the default to named instance? The same instance. I'm not asking the second instance. That's why I stressed my question. The same instance, can we change it to another instance? That is the question. Okay. So if you install one instance, this instance you installed already. So this you have already installed. This you cannot change it to named. You can install one more instance which will be named instance. Default instance you already installed, right? You can install second instance which will be named instance, or you install one named instance. I cannot change that name to default. That is not possible. You can install one more named instance or one more default instance. The existing instance that you cannot change it to other type of instance. If you install default, that should be default only. If you install name, that should be named only. That is my question, Praveen. Okay.
Sir, can we keep the name named instance like MS SQL?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Okay. Guys, again, generally 99% I'll tell you. Still, if you have some questions and all, very basic related questions, that we can explore it, guys. Why? Because I asked you to practice for 3 to 4 hours. What you can practice for 3 to 4 hours? If I tell 2 hours class, what you can practice for 3 to 4 hours? Right? This is called exploration, R&D, out of class thinking. You just whatever questions you have, okay, Shanmukh, choose this option. Why don't we select this option? Let's do R&D. If in my class, if I'm doing R&D, where will get time to learn the things? Okay, so first let's concentrate on the main subject. R&D we can do later, or you can try also from yourself. So default instance, once I install default instance, that should be default instance only. Named instance, once I install named instance, that should be generally named instance only. If I want another copy, another named instance you can install, but you cannot change the existing instance to named or default. Right, I can install only one default instance per machine. Why only one? Any idea? Why only
Because
one?
there is one system.
Correct. Okay. So generally, what is default instance, guys? Functionality wise, both are same. Don't think there is a difference between default and named instances. No. Functionality wise, features wise, both are same only, guys. Then Shanmukh, why we have two? Connection. While connecting, how we are able to connect? Default instance will use computer name to connect to the instance. Only that is the difference. Default instance will use computer name to connect to the instance. I'll tell you. Good question. Default instance can use computer name. What is the computer name and how to check the computer name, guys? Can anyone tell me? What is the computer name and how to check the computer name?
Go to property of this PC.
You can use multiple options. You can
Go to my computer and
yeah.
then
Host name.
consult.
Yeah, this PC properties you can check here. You can see the computer name. Okay, you can see here this is the computer name or host name or both are same. You can use system information MS Info 32. There also you can check the computer name. Okay, see here. Yeah, this is the computer name, system name. Okay, and you can use command prompt also. CMD command is host name. Don't give any spaces. Host name. Don't give any spaces. So this is also computer name. Okay. So when you choose default instance, SQL Server instance name will be computer name. So now we have 33 participants. We have 2 Praveen earlier. I asked Praveen, please respond. 2 Praveens are responded, right? We have Praveen Kumar, Praveen Sagar. Okay. When I call Praveen, both are responded. That is the challenge. So if I have 2 names, I have to specify Praveen Kumar or Praveen Sagar. I have to specify. So when this default instance, when you use default instance, it will take the computer name. So guys, can we use the same name for second instance? Same computer name? Means can I have 2 instances with same name? If I
No.
have, if
No.
while connecting, if I give computer name, which instance it will connect?
Ambiguity.
Right? Very good. Conflict. So that's why as default instance is going to take the computer name, I can use only one default instance per Windows machine, one default instance per Windows machine, again, one default instance per Windows machine. Why? Is it clear, guys, everyone? Why only one default instance per
Yes.
Windows machine? Everyone?
Yes.
Sorry. If it is clear, let me ask you this question then. Now I am installing SqlServer. Right. So now let me ask you this question, guys. Okay. I'm installing 2019 currently. I selected default instance. Now I want to install, next installation will be 2022. So can I choose 2022 default instance? One more default instance for another version? Just type your answers. Yes or no. I just want to check quickly. We have only 1 minute time. Can I use the default instance for another version? Second default instance for another version?
No, sir.
Type your answers quickly. Very good. Okay, got 20, 21 responses. Very nice. That's fine, guys. So let me check. So Anita, no. Shrikant, yes. Geeta, no. Pradeep, no. Bibhuti, no. Tariq, yes. Okay, Shivling, yes. And Chandu, no. Brahmaya, no. Kiran GC, not sure. Ramarendra, yes. Anup, yes. Anwar, yes. Venkat, no. Sagar Desai, yes. Shabir Ranjana, yes. Shabir, no. And Shiv Kumar, yes. Praveen, no. And Sharvasva, yes. Got mixed responses. Dhananjay, Patil, no. Not sure. Okay. So that's why I told you 3 times. You might have asked, or you might have think in your mind why Shanmukh is stressing that last word 3 times. What I stressed 3 times, guys? What I repeated 3 times in my last message? Can anyone tell me? We can install one default instance.
Can we install second default instance?
No. I am not asking the question.
One default instance per server.
Per machine. Per machine means per 39, 137.39. What it means? Why I stress it 3 times? What it means, guys? It means for the whole Windows machine, I can install only one default instance, irrespective of the versions. Again, the same question I'll ask you. You installed a 2019 default instance, you installed a 2022 default instance. You opened SSMS, you gave computer name. To which instance it will connect? 2019 default instance or 2022 default instance? Tell me, guys, is it a valid question or not? Right? Tell me. So which instance, which version it will connect? 2022 default instance or 2019 default instance? Again,
Which one
ambiguity.
firstly installed?
No, wrong. That is wrong. No, you tried it very good, but it's not going to work like that. Okay? It's not going to work like that. So only one Windows machine, one default instance, irrespective of the versions. Okay? If you install 2019 default instance, you cannot install 2022, 2017, 2016 default instance again. That is not possible. The default instance slot will be closed. Guys, is this clear? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you repeat again?
Please be muted. Right. Okay. So named instance. Let's go with the named instance. What are the specifications of named instance? Okay. So you can give up to 16 characters in the name, guys. Up to 16 characters. Named instance will support up to 16 characters in the name. You cannot give more than 16 characters. Okay. And instance name should start with the alphabets only. Shouldn't start with the numbers. Shouldn't start with the numbers and special characters, or should start with alphabets. Let's go like this. Let's phrase like this. Okay. Instance name should start with alphabets only. Named instance name don't accept any special characters except dollar and underscore. These three are main challenges, guys. You have to remember. You cannot give instance name more than 16 characters. It don't allow. Let me show you. I am trying to give the name like this. Okay, now still I am typing. I am typing still, but it is not accepting. It is not taking the name. Okay, so up to 16 characters it will allow. First thing. Second thing, I cannot start the instance name like not like this. SQL Server 2019. Can I start, guys? Can I give the name like this? Can I give the name like this?
No.
No. Why? Because
No.
it should start with alphabets only.
Right.
Now it is starting with numbers. Now tell me, can I give name like this? Control X, Control V. Can I give name like this?
I
Yes.
think you have to remove the space in between.
No space there.
Very good. Okay. Why? Because space is also a special character, guys, that don't accept. Okay. You can we give name like this?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
Yes,
it's
like
acceptable.
this?
No.
Yes. No,
Like,
no.
like this?
No.
Yeah,
No.
this can.
Yes.
Like this?
Yes.
Yes.
Like this?
Yes.
No.
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 No,
No.
it should start with alphabets only. Okay. So these are the main things, guys. So you cannot, someone asks, son, can we change the instance name? Can we rename the instance name? That is not possible. We cannot rename the instance, guys. Okay. So once you give name like this, okay, it will be like this only. If you want to rename means again, you have to install another instance with a required name, whatever name you are looking for, you have to install. But we cannot rename the instance name, guys. Okay. So what is instance ID, Shanmukh? So I'll show you guys. Instance ID is nothing, but it will create folders. Okay. It will create folders where in the C drive. Let me open my computer. Windows plus E, this PC, C drive, program files. So when you install any software, it will create a folder with the name in the program files, guys. If you open this, it will create a folder here with the name, instance name. Okay, it will create a folder here. Now I change the name, right? If I click once, the name folder will be changed like this. See the name? I'm just going to click here once. That's it. Like how the name is, in the same way it will create a folders also. Where? In this location. C program files, Microsoft SQL Server location. Okay, so this is how. So if it is default instance and all, see, it was changed automatically. It was changed to MS SQL Server. Automatically it was changed to MS SQL Server. Okay, so if it is MS SQL Server, that means what? In this location, it will create a folder, MS SQL Server folder. It will create, guys, in this location. Not sure. No, I'm sorry, not this location. Let me open this one. Yeah, in the C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Here it will create a folder called MS SQL Server. So if you see MS SQL Server means which instance it is, guys? Default or named? Default. For default only you'll see MS SQL Server. Okay, it's the quickest way, Shanmukh, how to identify whether the instance is default or named instance. By just looking into the folders. If you see MS SQL Server, without opening SSMS, you can just go to this location. You can see, if you see MS SQL Server, that's the default instance. If you see any other server with a name, any other folder with a name, that is a named instance. That is the quickest way to identify whether it is default or named instance. Chalo, now I'm going to install default instance, guys. Go to next.
Sir,
Yes,
hello.
yes, please. Yes, please.
Sir, is it possible to rename the instance name after installation of SQL Server?
That's what we discussed. Okay, that is not possible. Okay, we cannot rename the instance name after installation. During installation only we can rename. Okay, or else whatever we can do before hitting the install button, you can rename. Okay, after that you cannot rename. Okay, clear? Is it clear? Someone asked who is that? Usana?
Yes, sir.
Anita. Okay. Okay. Fine. So very important, three main terminologies, guys. One is instance, default and named instance. Second one is your service accounts. Okay. So let's concentrate on the service account. Very simple. Let's try to understand the service accounts. Okay. I'll try to draw this, guys. It will take 10 to 15 more time, 10 to 15 minutes more. Please bear with me. Okay. It is installation, right? I cannot stop in between. So let's initiate the installation. In the next class, we'll discuss other things. Okay. So let me go with the drive. I'll try to simplify the service account. Why? Because it's somewhat it is going to confuse you. People will confuse here. So that's why I'm taking the help of service account. I mean drive. So let's concentrate here. Open existing diagram. What is service account? The definition is service account is an account which helps you to run the service. Okay, very simple definition. Service account is an account which helps you to run the service. Technically, this is the definition. What is the difference now? Right. Now, let's go to this Windows machine. Imagine this is one Windows server. Imagine this is one Windows server. Okay, yeah. Imagine this is your SQL server. I installed a SQL server. So I just these are the disks, guys. So when I install SQL Server, okay, I can give a separate disks. Imagine this is C drive. Files and all will be created in the C drive, right? Okay. This is my database. This is my database. Now listen carefully. Database, when you are installing SQL Server, means you are installing SQL Server in the drive only, right? At the end of the day, it has to install in the drive, right? What is the main goal of the SQL Server? What is SQL Server? What is SQL Server? What is SQL Server?
Database management service.
Maintains the database.
Right. SQL Server is an RDBMS software which helps you to run to read the data, to write the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data. To store, to process, to retrieve. To store, to process, to retrieve the data. Chalo. Storing means what? It has to write, right? Store, how it can store it? It has to write the data to the disk, right?
Yeah.
This is my database. So when I insert any data, automatically it will write the data to the disk. When you are reading the data, disk means drive. Drive means folders. Guys, listen carefully. Generally, people don't observe this when I'm entering into any folders. Okay. For example, I'm going into this drive. Okay. I'm going into this drive. So don't think everyone can directly jump into this folder directly, guys. No. Okay. Now I can go and I can just open the folders like this, but the data will be written to this C drive, right? Who will write the data to this drive? Who will write the data? Who will read the data from the drive? This is C drive. If you want to store the data, you have to write the data to the disk. Who will write it? Who will write the data from database to the disk? And if you want to read the data, retrieve the data, who will read the data from the disk? Who will do that? Who will do all these things? Background process means what? Can a process
SQL
enter
Server.
into the... Yes, very good. SQL Server will do. SQL Server, can a SQL Server or SQL Server related process can directly access the folders, guys? Is it possible? In this drive,
No.
we have the folders. Okay. Listen carefully. Very simple. I'm just trying to unzip it. That's it. Okay. I'm trying to decrypt it, guys. Okay. So in the drive, I have these are the folders. So if you are writing the data to the disk, okay, disk means folders. Who can enter into the folder? A SQL server cannot enter into the folder, or a service cannot enter into the folder, cannot access the folder. On behalf of SQL server, one user only has to access the folders. Only one user account can access the folders, can read the data to the folders, can write the data to the folders. Folders means the files that are there in the folders. So that guy is called service account. Service account is an account, okay, which will help you to read the data from the disk, to write the data to the disk. Okay. So who can enter into the folders, guys? Service cannot enter. A software cannot enter into the folder. Say, for example, I'll give you best example, guys. Avesta antivirus software is there, right? What Avesta antivirus will do generally? What it will do, guys? Antivirus software, what it will do generally?
Scan the files
It will
in the
scan the
drive.
files. Very good. And after scanning, if it found any miscellaneous files or malicious files, what it will do?
Inform us.
It will mark it as virus.
Virus and quarantine
And
that.
again, it will ask us to approve. Hey, please approve. I found these files as virus files. Do you want me to delete? If we click on delete, what it will do?
We remove.
It will remove. Remove means what? Write operation, right? Scanning means what? Read operation, right? So to read and write, who will help us? Avesta can't directly jump into the folder and it cannot scan it. Every file. On behalf of Avesta, one account will be there. That account only can enter into the folders, can access the folders. That account only can read the data. That account can only write the data. That account is called service account.
The service account and user are same.
Service account?
And user are both same.
User will act as a service account. Very good question. Okay. User will act as a service account. Why? Because only users can log into this folder. So if I say one user, I can give you Digvesh as a user. I can give you Bibhuti as a user. Bibhuti left the organization. He got a good opportunity. He just went to another organization. So Bibhuti account will be deleted, right? You can ask Shanmukh, why don't you give your name or my name as a service account? You are saying user account, right? I am also a user. Why don't you give my name as a service account? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But the challenge is when you left the organization, your account will be deleted from the server. If your account is deleted, can the SQL server write the data or read the data from the folders? Not possible, right? So we'll use one common user account called service account. This won't be deleted. It cannot, this is just an account, right? This cannot left the organization, right? So this is an account. So that is also a user account. Again, I'm saying that is also a user account, but we don't give our name, your name, or company CEO name. Shanmukh, I'll give company CEO name. He's not going to left the organization. Who else? If he sold the whole organization to another company, who knows? Okay, so it shouldn't be that is a user only, but it shouldn't be like a Digvesh, Salman or Shanmukh or Anup or Pooja. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a generic name. That is called service account. Service account will help to read the data from the disk or write the data to the disk. Is it clear, guys? Now, SQL service means what? It has to read the data. It has to write the data. So who will help us to read the data from the disk, write the data to the disk? Your service account will help us.
Sir, for every software, service account.
Every software will be there. Yes, very good question. Avesta also will be there. See where I can see. I'm just using my local laptop, guys. Windows R services.msc, where I can see service accounts. Generally, when you install any other software, you don't ask service accounts. Shanmukh, I installed Avesta antivirus. It hasn't asked me the service account, but why SQL Server? See here, log on as is your service accounts. Why? Because as per Windows architecture,
Sir,
default service accounts will be there. Default service accounts will be there. Okay, what are those default service accounts? Local system, local service, network service. So if you install any software, Windows will automatically allocate any of the service accounts. In these 3 service accounts, local system is a high priority service account. Local service and then network service. So that's why Shanmukh, why didn't ask me when I install any software in my local laptop? I installed Oracle VirtualBox. It didn't ask me any service account. Why? Because it don't ask you. SQL Server will, sorry, Windows Server, Windows laptop, Windows OS will automatically allocate that default service accounts. But we are designing the Windows machine, especially for SQL servers, right? Right? Shanmukh, already 3 service accounts are there. Why again I have to separately choose? No need to choose. If you want, you can go with the default service accounts or custom service accounts. Here you can simply go to next. No need to discuss this one. But still, why we are discussing this? You should know. We in the organization, we don't use default service accounts. Why, Shanmukh? Why? Because see, already lot of services are there in my laptop, which is tagged with the 3 service accounts. See, all are tagged with 3 service accounts. Means for all these 100, imagine 100 services are there. Please be muted. Please be muted. Please be muted. I'm getting disturbance. Please be muted. Okay. All these 100 services will use the, imagine service account is a kind of maid. It's just a servant. All these 100 people are using 3 servants. So now again, if my SQL server also using the same 3 maids or 3 servants, so do you think we'll get performance issues, guys? Why? Because 3 people has to serve 100 people, guys. So if 101 person is added, don't you think there will be a pressure on the existing 3 servants? Is it clear, guys? Why I don't choose default? Why I'll go for custom? Very simple. Custom, if you choose, custom, if you choose, I'll have a dedicated servant to SQL Server. The reads and writes can be performed by my dedicated service account. So I don't get performance issues. Is it clear, guys? Service account.
The default service account has local system, local service, and network service.
Correct.
These 3.
Correct.
And in the SQL Server, it is showing different.
Yes, same only. You can use, see here, the name will be changed. Okay, you will get custom service account, virtual service accounts. Okay, SQL Server agent, SQL Server anti-service. Anti-service means same local service only.
Okay, anti-service means anti-authority means?
Same only, same. Anti-authority, anti-service, these are the local service accounts or virtual service accounts will be created. Now the thing is,
it will created by Microsoft.
Correct, by default. Okay, these are the virtual accounts.
We don't need to create.
No need to create. No need to create. It will be created by operating system itself. By default, you will get it.
So
now,
in the real time also, you don't need to create.
That's what. In the real time also, it will be there. That's what I told you, right? If you want, you can use the same accounts. But it is not good practice to use the default accounts. These are the default accounts, you will get it. I told you, for 100 people, if 3 servants are there, if 101 person is added, okay, definitely there will be a pressure on that particular person, right? The work will be increased. So that person will take more time to complete his work. Why I'll go for a default one? I'll create my own service accounts. That is called customized service accounts. In the next session, I'll show you how to create customized service account. So now I'll install with the existing accounts. You should know, right, how to change the service account. Can we change the service account after installation? Can we change it?
Yes. Yes.
Guess it, guys. Guess it. Can we change the service account after installation?
Yes.
Yes.
We can change it. That is our main goal, right? We can change it. We can change it. Okay. We can definitely change the service accounts after installation. So I'm installing SQL Server with the default accounts. In the next session, I'll show you how to change the service accounts. You should know that in the organization, sometimes we have to change the service accounts. You should know what is the impact of changing the service accounts and all. Okay, guys, is it clear, everyone? Please, if you have any questions in the service account, let me know. Service accounts are very important. Service account is an account which will read the data from the SQL server or from the disk, and which will write the data to the disk.
So for SQL Server, the local system and local service will be empty server.
Local server and local system.
Will converted into empty service.
That's what, see, local service means empty service only. This is local laptop, right? Here it will be local service. If you go to Windows Server operating system, it will be empty service. Okay. Yeah. So guys, any questions please in this service account section? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Chalo. So now startup type, generally when you restart the server, okay. When I restart this Windows machine, SQL services and all should be automatically start. Again, I cannot go and start it. Okay, manually I cannot go and start it. So that's why I'll set this startup type as automatic, guys. Okay, I'll set the startup type as automatic. Full text you can change after installation. I'll show you. Browser I'll show you after installation what and all services you will get it. I'll show you there is a separate session. After SQL Server installation, what services you will get it when we'll discuss about the services, guys. As of now, when you restart the SQL Server, okay. Okay, Amarendra. Okay, Amarendra. Sorry for the late. Okay, so as it is installation class, I cannot break it. So that's why I'm just continuing. Please don't mind, guys. Okay, next class you don't. It won't be crossed. Okay, fine. So startup type generally it should be automatic only. Why? Because when you restart the server, automatically the services has to start. So that's why automatic startup type. Collation settings. If you go and check the collation settings, what is collation settings, guys? Collation settings is nothing but language settings. Language, what kind of language you are going to use to insert the data in your databases. Means in the SQL Server, when you install any software, it will ask you to choose the language, right? Whatever language you choose, you can see the controls and all in the same language. If you choose English, you can see the controls in English. If you choose local language, you can see the controls in local language. If you choose some Chinese language, you can see like that what language data you are going to insert in the SQL Server. So you can choose, guys. You can choose different languages will be there here, customize option. And if you go and check this, you can see different languages here. See, you can see Assamese, Arabic, you can see Chinese in different versions of Chinese, and you can see Danish, you can see French, you can see, okay, Japanese. You can see Hindi also with the, I guess, Romanian, Thai language, Turkish language. Okay, Hindi is not there. Yeah, it was not there. Okay, you can see Greek language and all. You can see. So these are the different languages you can choose while installing. So if imagine Chinese language wants to design their Chinese application. So the data that they are going to insert in the databases are Chinese language. In that case, they are going to choose any of the Chinese language, guys. So that's how generally we can choose the collation settings, language settings. So now my question is, can I change the language settings after installation?
Yes, we can.
Very good. Okay. So technically, we cannot change the collation settings. Okay. You can use different options. You can change the registry keys and all. You can change the binaries and all, which is not a perfect option, perfect solution. But the answer is tell like this only. In case in the interview, they're asking, can we change the collation settings? Yes, it is possible, but we have to edit the registry keys and all, which is not good to do that. You might face some other challenges. So the best solution is you have to migrate, means you have to again install a separate SQL Server with the respect to collation settings, and you can move the existing data to the new installed server. Okay. So the default collation settings are SQL, a Latin one. In the entry, they will ask you guys, what is the default collation settings? SQL Latin 1, General, CP1, which is code page 1, code page 1, CI, case insensitive, AS, accent sensitive. Okay, so these are the default collation settings. 99% will use the collation settings only. Shanmukh, who knows in case, 1 minute guys, just 1 minute. Yes, okay. So SQL Latin 1, General, CP1, CIAS, guys. This is the default collection setting. So here, just want to discuss something, forgot about. What is my last point? Can anyone please help me? What is my last point?
Just explain the detailed information for CPA,
SQL.
CP1, CL, CINS.
Okay. SQL Latin 1, General, CP1, CIAS. Yeah. Yeah. 99% will use the same collection settings in the organization. Next, if customer is asking, they are looking for different collection settings. Shanmukh, who knows if customer is looking for different collection settings? They are going to mention this in the build sheet. That I just want to inform that point only. So what collection settings they need, customer will add it in the build sheet. If they need same collation settings, they will add this as this in the build sheet. If they need different collation settings, they will add a different collation settings in the build sheet. So based on the build sheet, you have to choose the collation settings. But I am sure 99% will use the default collation settings only. Latin 1 means English language only, guys. So like how Sanskrit, how multiple Indian languages are derived from Sanskrit. So in the same way, English language is derived from Latin language. So that's why you can see Latin here. Just now. Okay, so that's how this is the default collection settings, guys. And you can go to next. We almost came to an end, guys. So almost, yes. Yeah. So
Ashwin, there we forgot password is there. Can we provide passwords later?
here in this screen, service account, you can provide passwords, but default service accounts doesn't need any password. Okay, custom service accounts, you have to provide the password. I'll show you. Okay, in the next class, I'll show you. Okay, so this is, guys, this is the very important screen. After this, almost the installation we can initiate, guys. So now if you see here, not everyone can connect to my SQL server. I'm installing one SQL server one instance I'm installing, right? So not everyone can connect to the SQL instance. I can include those who are going to connect to the SQL instance. I can include in this screen. If I don't include anyone in this screen, don't allow me to proceed. At least one person I have to add here. See here, SQL Server Administrator have unrestricted access to the database engine. Now, it is asking us to add SQL Server Administrator. Hey, Shanmukh, you are installing one SQL Server. Very good. Now, let's add one person to connect to that instance. Otherwise, I cannot proceed. If we add at least one person, he can add other persons to connect to the SQL Server. Again, I'm saying, authentication mode, there is a separate class on this authentication mode in the security concept. So don't worry what is Windows, what is mixed and all, you don't worry. We have a separate class in the security, what is Windows and all. So as of now, I'm going to use Windows authentication. Later also, I can change from Windows to mixed mode. After installation also, I can change this mode. I'll show you how to change it. So I'm going with Windows mode as of now. And here you have to add one person, at least one person to connect to the existing instance, the running instance. Now we'll install one instance, right? Not everyone can connect to the instance. The persons that you are adding in the screen, those persons only can connect initially. Later, if you have access, you can connect to the SQL Server and you can give access to other people also. So what I'm doing now, I'm adding just current user. I'm adding my user. I'm using my administrator account, right? So I just logged in as administrator, right? So I'm using my account, administrator account, to connect to the instance. See, this is my administrator account. I have connected to this using administrator. So where can I see Shanmukh? You can use this one. Command prompt. Who am I? You can see here, computer name / administrator. Okay. So now you can use the same account, computer name / administrator. The same account you can see here. Yes, please.
Sir, while installing in the organization, in the production server, we have to choose Windows authentication mode or mixed mode authentication mode.
We will choose mixed mode generally. That's what initially why I'm choosing Windows. Later you should know, in case someone by mistake choose Windows authentication, you should know, right, how to change it. Right? Yeah, that's why initially I'm going with Windows. Later I'll show you how to change from Windows to mixed mode. Okay.
Okay.
But in the organization,
one
we'll
more-
use mixed mode. Yes.
mixed mode.
Yeah.
One more doubt.
Whatever you can use, no problem. Both you can use, but later installation also you can change it. Yeah, tell me.
One more doubt is, you are adding the current user.
Correct.
Suppose I am a DBA, I have given a task to install the SQL Server. Okay. How can I know to add which user?
Generally, we will add, this will be covered, actually, this will be covered in the security. Okay. Generally, we will add all the DBA teams. Okay. We will add just DBA teams in this section. We don't add other persons.
Okay.
We don't add them. Only DBS will have rights to connect to the SQL Server. If any other person is looking for the access after installation, while running the server also, I can provide you the access. But this is during installation, we'll add service account, we'll add DBA team. These two are main. Okay.
So this
During
DBA,
installation.
DBA team, how can I know who are the
DBA
DBA
team,
team?
you don't know DBA team. You don't know your team once you go to the
Yes,
organization.
yeah, I know, but how to know the user of DBA team?
That's what you see in the organization. You will have a separate group name. DBA group name will be there. Okay, that
they will
group
provide
name
me
you
that.
have. Yeah. Your colleagues will provide you that. You have to ask the same group name. What is our group name? Initially, when you go to, don't ask every time. Okay, initially when you step into the organization, hey, what is our DBA group name, to add it in the installation. Okay, so they will provide you the DBA group name, so that you can click add and you can just use SqlDBAs here. SqlDBAs. Again, guys, I'm going to tell all these things in the security also. So nothing to worry. Okay, just SqlDBAs and you'll just check names and you'll click OK, and then the account will be added here. Okay, this will be discussed completely in the domain. We will create domain, right? There I'll show you how to add them. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there I'm going to show you how to add the whole group and all, how to add the service account. Everything we'll discuss in the complete installation. This is kind of a normal installation. In the domains, how to install, I'll show you after 1 month, guys. Why? Because now we are going to cover all the topics, right? After 1 month, we are going to cover domain account and all, domain services and all. There I'll show you how to add the group, how to add the service account, everything I'll show you, okay, in the same screen. Initially, at least one account you have to add it. Later, this account will provide access for other accounts also, okay? So where I'm going to store my data and all, as of now, my data files will be stored in the C drive only. My log files will be stored in the C drive only. My log files, my backup files, everything will be stored in the C drive. Why? Because I have only C drive in my server. Guys, don't think
this information also mentioned in the build sheet.
Build sheet, correct. Data files, there is a separate drives. Data files will use separate drives. Log files will use separate drives. Backup files will use separate drive. Imagine I'm going to store all my database log files in the L drive. As of now, you don't know what is log file, what is data file and all. So that's why I'm not concentrating more on this. After this, we'll discuss data file, log file structure and all. So you'll get to know. Later, I'll show you again. Again, we are going to do 3-4 times installation during our practice, during our training. So nothing to worry. Some of the points I am not stressing means at this moment you cannot understand, but I am not going to skip it during the installations the next time. I am going to cover slowly. Okay. So as of now in the organization, we'll use different drives for data files, log files, backup files and all. But I have only one drive, right? So I'm using only C drive. So TempDB, what is TempDB and all? There is a separate class. What is maxstop? What is memory settings? There is a separate class. File stream means if you want to store video content related data like Netflix, YouTube, video content related data, we'll use file stream feature. As of
this
now,
detail, these all detail
will be provided in the build
mentioned in
sheet. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
According that, we have to mention the memory.
Correct. Memory and all. I'll tell you, okay? Memory, maxstop, everything I'll tell you, okay? Yeah. So these things will be covered again later in the next installation, guys. Okay. So as of now, we are not going to change any of the paths here. In the organization, we'll change the paths. That also I'll show you in the future installations. So that's it, guys. Go to next, and this is the final screen. Just want to tell you one important point. Whatever we have selected here using GUI, Windows machine don't know what is GUI. This setup file will help us to convert all the options into a command format. That command will be stored in this file, configuration file.ini. Guys, Windows Server or Windows laptop that you are using, for example, you are refreshing the laptop, right click refresh. You know how to refresh the laptop. But if you tell to the operating system, hey, please refresh, it don't understand what is refresh. But when you choose right click refresh, it will run a command in the backend, guys. GUI is only for the user simplicity, only to understand. I don't know what is the command to refresh the laptop, right? I cannot remember. I don't know what is the command to rename the file. I don't know what is the command to create the folder. Okay. When I click folder B51, actually in the backend, it will run one command. When I click outside, when I click OK, it will run one command. That command is able to create the new folder. When I'm trying to delete this, when I choose delete, when I click OK, yeah, when you click here, yes or no, yes, it was deleted actually. I know using GUI how to delete, how to create, I know, but I don't know what is the command. In the same way, Windows don't know what is GUI. GUI is only for our purpose. I don't know what is the command, Windows don't know what is GUI. So this window, the GUI window, will convert your action into command. Now, when I select that option, it will run one command called mkdir, make directory. Then only it is able to create this folder. In the same way, if you see this window, actually to install SQL Server, you have to provide the command. But can you remember this much big command to install SQL Server? Is it possible? I cannot remember, right? So what this installation center or this window will do, it will convert your actions into command. That command will be stored in the configuration file.ini. When you click install, Windows Server will call this file into command prompt, and then it is going to install the SQL Server as per the command presented in this file. I'll show you after the installation, okay? Not now, in the next class. So just click install, guys, that's it. It will take 15, first time it will take 15 minutes, next time it will take 10 minutes hardly. So now what you can do, you can, if you want, you can be there in the call. I'm not going to discuss anything now. If you want, you can drop the call also. The next class, evening 7 p.m. IST. For US people, it will be 9:30 a.m. EST tomorrow. Okay. You can connect, guys, for EST, 9:30 a.m. EST. Okay, tomorrow morning for hours, India. Today evening, Saturday evening, 7 p.m. IST. Okay. So we can connect and we'll discuss other things, guys. Chalo, if you want, you can be in the call. You can watch the installation. Okay. And if you are already like running out of time, you can just drop from the call, and nothing I'm going to discuss, guys, just to show you the screen. Okay. Guys, any questions you can ask me. Otherwise, that's it for today, guys. I mean, that's it for this session. 1 minute, and just 1 minute.
Hello.
Guys, please, I'm sorry for that. It's almost exceeded 30 minutes, guys. Please don't mind, huh? Please. As it is installation, I cannot break it. That's why. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, yes, please.
If suppose on application, there is a form filling by candidate, and
Yes.
there we have an option to choose language. Suppose we choose any, suppose Hindi and any other language.
Okay.
So we have to change any language in DB also.
I'm not getting your question. See, collation settings, right? You're asking?
Yeah.
Collation settings you can choose while installing.
Okay.
While installing, I shown you, right, different languages, Chinese language, Japanese language, Romanian. While installing, you can choose the language that was selected by the user.
Okay.
Okay, so that you can do. But after installation, it will create some problem. You can still do that by changing the binaries and all. There is no direct straightforward step is there to change the collation settings. Okay? There is no straightforward step to change the language settings. You have to change the binaries and all, which is not good option. I don't prefer that option. You might face some other challenges in other features. Okay. So yes, while installing, you can choose other languages.
Okay. If application is created, then database
That's
should
what.
be
If it is
according
created,
to
yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank
And Benjamin Otto, okay. Let me show you the path, okay, from where you can see that configuration file.ini. I'll show you the path, okay. So if you open this PC, okay, Microsoft SQL Server, see all these folders are created, right? Just refresh this. Okay. So go to 150 folder, go to setup bootstrap folder, okay, go to SQL 2019. So there is a file called, let me go with the logs folder. Go to log. Okay, go with the latest timestamp. What is the latest timestamp? 9:55, right? Just go with this. And there you can see configuration file.ini. Okay, what you can do, you can just open it directly like this. Okay, so not sure. Yeah, this is the command. This is the command. Whatever options we have selected, the same options we can see here. Okay, so this is the file. We will have access to that file. You can still check that one. Okay, I'm going to close that one. Why? Because it is in use. Currently installation is going on, right? So it is in use. It might correct. Later I'll show you. Okay, once the installation is done, I'll show you the configuration file.ini. Okay, that's what you're asking, right, Benjamin? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. For US guys, I'm so sorry, guys. I know it's more than night 12 o'clock. Okay, please don't mind. Only for the installation it will be, guys. Remaining class and all perfect time to time.
Sir.
Yes,
Hello.
please. Yes.
Sir, suppose I one instant created default.
Yes.
Then again I name the instant I created. Then how much service account created?
I'll tell you. Okay, service account there is a separate class. I'll tell you. Okay, we can create one user, specific user. We can create later. I'll show you the next class. What I'll do, the next class I'll show you the service account how to create. I'll show you the I'll show you how to change the this one. What is that? How many services will be created? What and all folders will be created after the installation of SQL Server internally? What will happen? I'll show you in the next class. Okay.
Sharma?
Yes.
Actually, you have skipped this .NET framework. Will it affect in this
No. See, 2019, 2022 .NET framework, by default, .NET framework is installed. Okay, 4.5 and all. So it's not mandatory. If it is still mandatory, okay. Did you remember we have global rules checks, some checks ran, right? So if it is really depends on the .NET framework, if there is no .NET framework, the global rules will be failed. So it don't allow us to install first of all. Got my point?
Yeah.
So as it's already installed, .NET framework is already pre-built .NET framework we got. So it is not going to block us now. During installation, it's not going to block. But after installation, it's not going to block, or during installation, it's not going to block. But in case if any such dependency of .NET framework, first of all, it don't allow us to install. Okay, one check will be failed. In the checks, 9 or 10 checks will be there in that .NET framework is also one check that will be failed. If that check is failed, we cannot proceed, right? So that's how it is going to block us. Right, okay, guys. So install so quickly. Fine. So now you can see, right? All you have to check after the installation, you have to check all the components are successfully installed or not. See, everything you can see. Everything is green only. Install successful message you got. Okay, everything. In case if any of the component is failed to install, you can see red mark here. You can see failed here, status failed here. Okay, so in that case, again, you have to reinstall after fixing the issue. Maybe some other reasons it was okay, stopping us to install, right? So you have to check the reason. Where I can check the reason, Shanmukh. Okay, this is the file. This is called summary.txt file. Okay, this is called summary.txt file. In case if something goes wrong, we can see it will be failed here in the summary.txt file. Okay, so this will be discussed in the next class, guys. Okay, this will help us to identify the reasons why it was failed and all. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I mean, this session. So in the next session, we are going to cover. You can just close it, guys. You can close this. In the next session, we are going to cover like what and all services will be created, what and all folders will be created, how internally it will be organized, internal hierarchy of SQL Server. Everything will be discussed. Okay, so that's it for guys. See, once it was closed, again it was enabled for the second installation. Okay, so that's it, guys. We will meet in the evening 7 p.m. IST. For US people, 9:30 a.m. EST tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you all. Good night, good day, bye, guys. Dhananjay, then I'll check with you. Okay, so I'll check with you, Dhananjay.